At our library, we actually had 2 architectural firms, so I'd like to recognize Design Labs, which was Ben Yultz and Bob Miklos, who could not be with us today. But from Austin Architects, we have Jonathan Austin and our own Jennifer McCroy in the picture, and sitting right there. Jennifer, will you stand up? The agency that we worked with was DCAM, and I'd like to, a special shout out to them, they're not in the audience, Mike Lambert and Ellen Whittemore. But speaking as the CFO, there's no debt on that beautiful library, and I love that, and you should all love that too. And also, the construction folks, I know the people that were in the library, and the students, you put up with kind of a lot of construction, but Consigli actually were the folks that did that, and they made it happen. It's like putting it in concrete, so I'd like to recognize Consigli too. So just a few real short remarks. The Claire T. Carney Library had a makeover. The transformation of this building has changed the way the campus community looks and uses the libraries. And I'd like to hear if the students like that. Yeah. Okay, good. This edition has been rightly lauded for its beauty and for its transformation of the campus quad. And it is the first LEED certified building on the UMass Dartmouth campus. Since it's not only beautiful, but there are many sustainability related features included in the building, such as the use of a building energy management system, replacement of high energy light bulbs, plumbing fixtures and windows, and the use of special wood that's been treated for sustainability. It's a building that the entire campus can take pride in, and we hope that it will serve as a model for future campus construction. With great pride and my personal privilege, I would like to present this award to the library, but with the folks to come up and get this award, Catherine Fortier-Barnes and Peter Gelmarker.
It truly is an honor to accept this outstanding achievement award on behalf of the Claire T. Carney Library. The project has taken approximately 5 years to complete. There were periods of inconvenience and discomfort to the entire UMass Dartmouth community, but especially to the staff that continued to work in the building. We hope that you find it was all worth the effort that we took. The transformation has been truly remarkable. There are many, many aspects to the change. The appearance and the programming in the building are current and fresh, but still take into account the original spirit of the Paul Rudolph design. There have been many highlights of sustainability and energy efficiency in the design. The best part of the whole project for me is that students have truly embraced the new library and consider it their own. And after all, we built it for them. It takes a team to complete a project of this scope. Some of the people involved were Ben Yultz and Bob Miklos of Design Lab Architects, Jennifer McCroy and Jonathan Austin of Austin Architects, our DCAM project managers, James Ward and Joe Smith, the Consigli construction team, numerous engineers and consultants, and Michael Hayes and Peter Gelmacher from UMass Dartmouth. Peter Gelmacher has been involved in this project almost as long as I have, and I've been there from day one. It should, of course, none of this could have been done without the generosity of Claire T. Carney and her family, and their encouragement of lifelong learning. These people and many others worked very hard to make this project a reality. We hope you've had the chance to visit the library and that you come often to use this campus resource. We also hope that it will serve as the inspiration for other transformations of campus buildings. Thank you.
I was asked to prepare a short presentation about the library's transformation and with respect to the sustainability aspects. If you can bear with me one moment while I get this set up. So this presentation is about 6 minutes or so I hope most of you have had a chance to visit the library, but if not, I'd like to give you some of the details of what we did in the space. So as mentioned, I'm Jennifer McGrory with Austin Architects. I was honored to be the project manager who oversaw the library renovation, and I'm happy to be here to discuss the sustainable transformation. I'm also really thrilled to see many students here, especially the sustainability students, and Professor Darst from the Topics of Sustainability course last fall, who studied the library project and prepared some really fantastic boards which outline the specifics of this in the back of the room. I hope you have a chance to review those. As you just heard, the project would not have been possible without the hard work of many, many people, companies, and different institutions. These include UMass Dartmouth, in particular the Claire T. Carney staff and the Facilities Planning Design Construction team, as well as DCAMP. As mentioned, we have the design team of Design Lab Architects and Austin Architects. We also have a team of 16 different consulting firms, each providing specialized knowledge and experience. And then the fantastic work of Consigli Construction. I just want to note that there were over 30 different subcontractors who helped build this building for you, and literally hundreds of different people who built this. During the design process, we reviewed the existing building's energy use very carefully, utilizing an energy model. Energy modeling is a computer model that analyzes the building's energy-related features in order to project energy consumption of a given design. We were able to understand how the existing building used its energy while testing and optimizing design options for the project. Most of you are pretty familiar with the issues we faced with the library before the renovation. If you haven't been to the library before the renovation, if you're new to the campus, you probably have seen these other features elsewhere on the campus as well. But there was outdated, poorly functioning mechanical systems, restrooms that didn't include water-saving features or have sufficient capacity for the number of people using them, elevators which broke down frequently, poor lighting, and not enough power where you needed it. All of these were important to improve, but through the energy model, we discovered a major energy loss point in the project was building envelope. The characteristics of the envelope were what helped define the architecture of your campus, but in many ways it embodies a different time. It was built before the energy crisis of the 70s, and this building used a dramatic amount of energy before the renovation. The building was using approximately 46 BTUs per square foot, which is about double what a new building would use. Much of this energy was caused by the architectural design, unfortunately. Much of the energy loss was caused by the design. It contained large areas of single-pane glass, walls with little or no insulation, and there was significant air leakage. Additionally, the complex shape with the cantilevers, while being beautiful, it increased the surface area and it made the building shape inefficient and difficult for heating and cooling. Faced with the sustainable goals of the project, we needed to define what we could change. We knew we couldn't change the existing building shape of the building materials, and we'd be increasing the number of people and the equipment in the building, so we'd also be increasing the energy use there. We were not going to decrease any of that. So therefore, the design has to address ventilation, envelope transmission, air infiltration, lighting, and mechanical systems. I'm going to mention these in detail, but just thinking about those, I'd like you to think about your campus as a whole. Those are not very sexy architectural features, but they're what you have to deal with, especially in the topics of sustainability and energy consumption. There are many, many specific ways we've improved the library's sustainability and energy performance, and I'd like to go into some of the specifics. We have diminished solar gain. You've seen these in architectural elements like the fritted glass on the exterior, but also these exterior sun shading fins. These are now installed in the addition and are currently being installed in the renovation. That's one of the last final pieces of the project. We've really dramatically changed the building envelope, and we've introduced a new glazing system that has high-performance insulated glazing units and thermally broken curtain wall systems. You can see that throughout the whole building. And not as obvious as some of the other elements of the building, but one of the most important sustainable features was the new mechanical system. So some of the specific components we have is demand-controlled ventilation, which also measures air quality within the building, and it continuously does that for tracking purposes. We have a full VAV system, which is controlled through the new building energy management system. We reused high-quality ductwork and perimeter radiation wherever possible. We installed a new building pressurization system, which has really helped with the air infiltration loss. And in the basement, we have a double effect steam absorption chiller. That's what this large green monster in the bottom corner is. And on the roof, we've upgraded the existing roof-mounted cooling tower with new energy recovery units and new toilet exhaust system. One of the most noticeable and I believe beautiful features in the library is new lighting. We've reduced the lighting power density to 1.1 watts per square foot, which is significantly less than what code requires. We replaced all the lighting with LED and fluorescent lamps and improved the daylighting throughout. We also incorporated a lighting control system and occupancy sensors. Overall, the building is now brighter and lighter, yet we've reduced the amount of energy output of the lighting dramatically. We've completely replaced the roof on the building using increased insulation, but also light-colored roofing materials, which has a higher solar reflectance and helps to reduce the cooling load of the building. New restrooms throughout, also not the most glamorous area, but really important to the users of the building. We use low-flow toilets and faucets, and also a new exhaust and ventilation system, all improving the indoor air quality. And finally, we just simply increased the quantity of fixtures to comply with the building code. While reorganizing the building, we moved the private offices off the exterior of the building into the interior, opening up the perimeter of the building. By doing so, this improves the daylighting and the mechanical efficiency of the space, but it also brought back some of Rudolph's original design intents and spatial planning goals. We believe it's really important that the best views out of the building are for all building users, not just the people with private offices. It improves the building experience for everyone. During construction, the sustainable efforts were just as important as our design phase. We utilized a construction waste management plan, and we diverted over 75% of the waste from landfills. And we continuously monitor and manage the indoor air quality during the construction. When selecting the materials and vendors, we used FSC certified woods in all locations, as has been mentioned previously. And wherever possible, we utilized materials that could be sourced within a 500-mile radius of the campus. All the products are low VOC, including the paints and the adhesives. And we selected materials whenever possible that were made from recycled materials. And finally, we also reused some of the original building elements like the bookcases and some of the furniture. Most importantly, we renovated an existing building instead of building new. By doing so, we saved the embodied energy of new construction, and we also saved an architectural landmark. I believe this project proves it's more valuable, cost-effective, and sustainable to save these buildings. The UMD campus has a colorful, beautiful beacon that everybody can be proud of. We hope the lessons and the solutions of this project could be used as a model for future UMD renovations and campus improvements. We can reduce operational cost and environmental impacts and can increase the campus's adaptability, durability, and lifespan. We can do this while restoring the space that's what's beautiful about your campus architecture, while providing the learning space that the UMD community needs. The library can be the beginning of a new, sustainable UMD campus transformation. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer, and thank you to everybody here. Wanted to just let you know that our program does continue. We have 4 different programs that are going to be following this program. One has actually started now, for those of you interested in learning about the ash borer and its menace to our current society. That program has already started. Jennifer will be leading a tour of our library, so you can learn more on site from our library. What sustainable features are there. Chance Perks will be leading from the front of the patio over here to walk people over for a forest trail walk to learn a little more about our living classroom. And I will be escorting people out to the wind turbine and to the sculpture path to see amazing statues, different sculpture programs that are out there. On behalf of all of us, we want to say thank you very much for coming today. And again, one more round of applause for all of our awards.
Chuck, good luck with your future. Just shoot me an email.
See you again, I hope.